Okay, so we've got a stack of articles here about CapitaLand Ascott Trust, or CLAs for short.
Right.
And wow, they really paint a picture.
Yeah.
We're talking about a company in that hospitality real estate world, right in the thick of it as global travel picks back up.
Absolutely.
As their latest reports, a 12% profit surge in just the first half of 2024.
Yeah. It's
They're doing something right.
it's pretty impressive what they're pulling off.
Yeah.
What's interesting here is that they're not just,
Right.
riding the coattails of the travel rebound, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're really strategically making moves to capitalize on this, and I think it all starts with understanding that lodging trust model.
Okay.
Think of it like this. They own and manage a whole bunch of hotels, service departments, and they're making money from the rent, but also these properties increasing in value over time.
So when we see, 11% revenue growth, their revenue per available unit, right?
Yeah.
VPAU,
Right.
back at pre-pandemic levels.
Yep.
It's got to be more than just people booking vacations again.
It's absolutely. And, remember those articles about CLAS selling off some of their properties?
Yeah.
That's a cool 408.1 million
Wow.
Singapore dollars
Yes.
worth of real estate. And it's not just a couple properties, it's 10 properties across 4 different countries.
Wow.
So this is like a textbook strategic divestiture.
So unpack that a little bit, because they're selling assets. What's the strategy?
So it's all about streamlining and optimizing that portfolio.
Okay.
Older properties, they need more upkeep, more renovation, more spending. They're getting rid of that, freeing up capital, and then they can reinvest it into these newer properties.
Okay.
Maybe some more sustainable properties as well.
Which brings us to that other
Yeah.
piece of the puzzle here, the commitment to sustainability.
Yeah.
They secured a 165 million Singapore dollar, 1.5 degrees Celsius loan from OCBC,
Huge.
the first lodging trust to ever do so.
It's a big deal.
That's a statement.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, a 1.5 degrees Celsius loan, it's a type of sustainability-linked loan,
Okay.
which basically means the interest rate that CLAS pays is tied to them achieving these specific environmental targets,
Interesting.
like reducing their carbon emissions. So they're being rewarded financially for being environmentally responsible.
I like it.
Yeah.
They're putting their money where their mouth is.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're not just, talking
Yeah.
the talk.
Yeah.
They're walking the walk.
They've earned recognition as a global sector leader from GRESB,
Right.
which
Big deal.
big deal. That's like the Michelin star for
Exactly.
eco-conscious companies.
Pretty much.
So their dedication to this whole their portfolio is clear.
Absolutely. They've made significant progress. A large amount of their properties already meet these high sustainability standards.
Right.
And their goal is to have 100% by 2030.
Okay.
Pretty ambitious.
So on the surface, we have a company riding high on the travel rebound, making these savvy financial moves, establishing themselves as a leader in sustainability. It almost seems too good to be true.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what they say? It's always sunny somewhere, but even in the sunshine, there can be shadows lurking.
Always.
And in CLA's case, that shadow comes in the form of a pretty unsettling situation, an alleged embezzlement scandal
Right.
involving one of their former senior executives in Australia.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because it's a reminder that corporate governance, it's not just about, sustainability awards and, just the financial statements.
Yeah.
It's really about having strong internal controls, ethical conduct, transparency, even when things get tough.
And this is definitely a tough situation.
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking about a reported 2.7 million
It's a lot of money.
Australian dollars.
Yeah.
That was allegedly siphoned off through this network of falsified invoices over a number of years.
Yeah. And what makes it even more concerning is this executive left CLAS last year.
Wow.
And it was only during a recent audit that they even discovered these discrepancies.
Wow.
So it really makes you wonder, how could something like this go undetected for so long?
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Because as investors,
Right.
or even just as people trying to understand the business world, we often get caught up
Absolutely.
in the big picture, the profits, the growth, the sustainability initiatives. But this shines a light on the importance of what's happening
Behind the scenes.
behind the scenes.
That's right. Strong corporate governance.
Yeah.
It's about having the systems in place to prevent this, but also how does a company respond when something does go wrong?
In this case, it seems like CLAS was
Yeah.
caught off guard.
It seems that way.
Now, to be fair, they've stated publicly that this won't financially impact their shareholders,
Okay.
that they have insurance, other mechanisms in place
Okay.
to absorb the loss.
Mm-hmm.
But still, the fact that a senior executive was allegedly able to
Right. I mean, how?
engage in this type of activity for an extended period,
Yeah. It's concerning.
it's very concerning.
Very concerning.
And the fact that they've left Australia, potentially complicating the legal proceedings, just
Well,
adds another layer of complexity here.
that's another layer for sure.
So we've gone from celebrating CLA's impressive financial performance and their sustainability accolades to now grappling with this embezzlement scandal.
Yeah.
It feels like a roller coaster.
It's a wild ride.
Where do we even go from here?
Right. It's
Yeah.
like,
It's kind of like we took a trip, right?
Yeah.
From those sunny headlines about CLA's profits and their eco-friendly ways, and ended up
right.
in the shadows of this corporate scandal.
Mm-hmm.
It's like two different pictures.
Yeah, it really highlights how important it is to look at things from every angle, you know?
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up when the news is positive, but
Right.
as we see, there's always more to the story.
There always is. So how do we as investors,
Right.
or even just people trying to make sense of the business world,
Mm.
how do we take those two seemingly contradictory pieces of information?
Yeah.
And we've got CLAS winning awards for sustainability,
Right.
while simultaneously dealing with this major ethical breach.
And I think that's where that critical thinking really comes in.
Mm.
You know, it's not just accepting things at face value, it's digging deeper, asking the right questions.
Yeah.
And really trying to understand the context.
And in this case, I think the big question for anybody listening
Right.
who's interested in CLAS as an investor or someone just following along,
Mm-hmm.
what does this embezzlement scandal say about their corporate governance overall?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a red flag, for sure.
Yeah.
It really makes you think that there might be some weaknesses
Right.
in their internal controls, their oversight, even their corporate culture.
It makes you wonder.
And, you know, they've said shareholders won't be impacted financially,
Right.
but still, this could have some long-term repercussions, right?
Absolutely.
That damage their reputation,
Mm-hmm.
erode investor confidence, even lead to more scrutiny from regulators.
Oh, for sure.
So, you know, it's about looking beyond just the financials when you're evaluating a company.
Okay.
Sustainability is important.
Yeah.
But so are ethics, transparency, accountability, all of that.
So it's really looking at the whole picture,
The whole picture.
good and the bad,
Yep.
and deciding for yourself what level of risk you're comfortable with.
Exactly. And don't underestimate
Yeah.
asking questions, doing your due diligence,
Right.
remembering that even the shiniest companies can have some cracks.
You got that right.
Yeah.
So as you continue to explore the world of investing or just making sense of the business world in general,
Mhm.
remember every story has multiple sides. Don't be afraid to
Right.
turn over those rocks and see what's underneath.
Exactly.
Might not always be pretty, but it's always enlightening.
It is. It always is.
Until next time.